Today, I bow to all the Sahajogis who have found the truth. There has been, from ages, the seeking for the truth. And when people discovered that there's no other way but to surrender to the divine, that you can find the truth, they did not know how to do it, how to work it out. There have been seekers all over the world. I went to Turkey and I was amazed. There have been lots of Sufis, but their disciples were not realized souls. Because the Sufis also did not know how they got their realization. Such darkness existed around people who were seeking. All over the world, I find, when I was a little girl, that they are completely ignorant about how to find the truth. So many were lost in all kinds of so-called religions and rituals. All kinds of rituals they used to do. Morning till evening, some sort of a ritual they would do. Whether they were Hindus, Christians, Muslims, they all believed that by doing all these rituals, you will achieve something, that you will know the truth, that you will get your self-realization. All such seekers went to wrong people and to wrong directions because they were really seeking from their heart. So they were very misleading, and they were misled into such horrible black areas that they did not know what they were seeking, what they are supposed to seek, what they have to have. It has been prophesied that when Kali Yuga will come, people will find themselves. There's a story about Nala and Kali, who had taken away the wife, Damayanti of Nala. So once Nala caught hold of him, and he said that now I am going to kill you because you are a very mischievous man and you have done such a harm to me. So the Kali said, you can kill me, but before that you should know what is my importance, what is my mahat. And my importance is that when my time will come, when Kali Yuga will come, then all those people who are seeking the truth in the jungles, in the hills and dales, in the Himalayas, will become ordinary householders. They'll be householders. They won't be sannyasis going about. They'll be householders and they will find the truth. This is being prophesied long time back, and also there's a book about it, a book, as you must have read in the book, which says that the time has come for people to know themselves. Every religion has said one thing, that you must know yourself. Islam says the same, Buddha says the same, Christians say the same, Hindus say the same. So till then, they go on doing all kinds of acrobats. But they realize that we haven't found the truth. So it came to my lot. From my childhood I knew I had to do it. But when I saw the human beings, how much in darkness they were about themselves, how aggressive and how sinful they were. All their style was so cruel that it was unbelievable. That was the time also I saw Hitler coming up, and our country also was in complete bondage. So the first thing was to make our country free. Was very important, and that's why I took a very, very active role in the movement that was for the freedom of our country. Same with my father, mother. But when we got the freedom, somehow, after some time, we got lost. People started taking to all kinds of modern things which were wrong, which were so-called entertaining. With all that, I found all over the world there was a big seeking force, and some false people took full advantage of it. They went out, made lots and lots of money, and with their falsehood they cursed them. I don't know what they did to them. So many seekers were lost like that. Despite that, I went to America and I was shocked how the things were going on there. But I couldn't help it because they were so mentally ill-equipped. They could not understand what they have to have, and you can't pay for the truth. Then it happened that I had started it after the Sahasrara was broken. And you know the story, how I broke the Sahasrara, and how from one person I started giving realization. But from America I got very disappointed. I was thinking, how will it grow, how will it work out? We had about 25 people who were realized soul by then in India. But they realized what they have got by realization. They realized that they have become very good people. They have given up all bad habits, and they were wanting to worship me. I said, no, don't worship me, because people will not understand. But they one day forced me. So on our terrace of the house, they came and worshipped me because somebody had told them this is the goddess. So what had happened was, after the program, one maidservant came up who was possessed. And she came and she started calling me by the name of goddess. So people said, what are you saying? She was a woman but talking like a man. So she said, I'm telling you the truth. She is the goddess who has come to save us. Her language was not that of a maidservant, but of a very well educated Brahmin who would say all Adi Shankaracharya's stotras. It was very surprising. So they asked her several questions, and then she just fainted. So I told them, just don't listen to her, it's no use. But they would not agree, and they said, Mother, we have to worship. So somehow I agreed to that, and they got hold of 7 Brahmins to do that. They were afraid, because to do that puja is very dangerous, and it could harm you if it is not the truth. But on the contrary, when they were doing the puja, they got their realization. And they just said, no, this is the truth. They felt the cool breeze in their hand. All the symptoms told about a realized soul started. But I didn't want to say everything at that time because there were many others who were saying, I am this, I am that. So I didn't want to expose it altogether. But gradually I found that people got attracted and they used to come to my program. And then the Sahaja Yoga started spreading all over in a very interesting manner. So this Sahasrara day, or we can call the day when the Sahasrara was opened out, is a very important. It's very subtle. We just know about the Kundalini, that she's coiled up in 3.5, and she's lying in the triangular bone known as sacrum. But we don't know what she works, how she works, what happens to us. She rises in 6 centers and breaks the breaks the 6th center. Because Ganesha's center doesn't play any role. So when she breaks the 6th center, which is the Sahasrara, then she connects you to the all-pervading power of divine love. But what is this divine love? What does this do? It is the energy of the mother. They can say it is the energy of Adi Shakti, which is all over, works through vibrations. But what are these vibrations? It's a very subtle energy that starts flowing through your Sahasrara. All the 1,000 petals of the Sahasrara get slowly enlightened, and it starts flowing throughout your body, throughout your hands, feet, throughout your body. And the more you are, your attention is on the Sahasrara, the more it works faster. Now in the science I've read that they have discovered an energy called, they call it, what do you call that? Because of the scientist, I forget is what energy? Quantum, quantum energy. Quantum, I don't know why they call it quantum, because quantum is 4. So it might be meaning the energy of Ganesha, maybe, I don't know. Because scientists are blind people, I don't know what they call what. So they are saying there's a quantum energy. Now this quantum energy, according to them, flows in a very subtle manner, and it is normally not visible, but it has light. You have seen that in so many photographs of mind, this light of all kind. This energy moves in a light. So this is the quantum energy, I think, again. I am not very sure, because scientists are always found them a little bit vague. But this quantum energy they are talking about is something like the spiritual energy or the energy of love, which flows around. And this quantum energy, they do not know what it does, but they have seen it has got light. They call it quantum because according to them it flows in bundles, and every bundle is a quanta according to them. Now this energy, when it flows, as you have seen yourself, it works. It works in every direction, in every dimension. For example, it works physically. Supposing you have some physical ailment. You have seen many people get cured in my presence. Just in my presence. I need not do anything to them. Or also, as soon as I see somebody, I know what he's suffering from. That's also, I must say, my connection with the divine. And that tells me what's wrong with what person and what should be done. And it can be cured in no time, because that also comes to me just like that. I mean, I don't ask any questions, I don't try to find out, I do not analyze, but it just says, do like this. Or it also doesn't say, it just does. It just works automatically. It is very difficult to explain how this energy works. But all of you who have got realization can also work out your own energies. How? By releasing it, by feeding it, by giving it to others, by experimenting. Of course, Sahaja Yoga has spread because of you only. You are the people who have brought people to Sahaja Yoga. But that's not the end of it. We have to save this world. For that, at least, I feel 40% of people should get their realization. Whatever may be their nationality, whatever may be their education, anything. They are to be given self-realization. In our Indian scriptures, it's clearly written, without Atma Sakshatkar, your life is useless. But what is Atma Sakshatkar? Is the knowledge about yourself. How can you have that knowledge unless and until you become one with this all-pervading power? So it was a very great thing I felt that this Sahasrara I could open in 1970. I realized I was overwhelmed because I knew this is the only trouble, it is the only obstacle human beings are having. Because their sastraras are not open, that's why they are going in the darkness. That's why they are having wars. That's why they are having all kinds of problems. But if their sastrara opens, and if they become one with the divine power, all their problems will be solved. Every type of problem will be solved, and they'll be very happy people. I realized it, and I was very happy, I was overjoyed. But nobody understood me. I don't know, they thought I must be talking something nonsensical. Nobody understood it, what it is. Because even in the Shastras, it's not written about Kundalini so clearly. Only one great saint called Gyaneshwara wrote it in his book in the 6th chapter about the Kundalini. It's not so clear. Only he said that with the Kundalini you can get your awakening. Also you sing that song always, I've heard, which says that, "O Kundalini mother, please be awakened." But nobody knows that what this Kundalini is and why are you singing that song. It was all in our country, people used to sing in the village. So clearly, but nobody understood the meaning of it. Just they used to sing as some sort of a bhajan, or could be some sort of a music concert. But nobody knew what it was talking about. It was such a misunderstanding about everything. And all these poets also who have written clearly about awakening, about realization, everything was just in the books. They would read one line of the book, then stop there. Another person would start another line, then he stops at another point. Like that they were just reading. Same thing about all the scriptures. There was big misunderstanding created and was used for the purpose of their own self-interest. That is how we couldn't get people who understood what was self-realization. It was just for some money or from certain type of a position to get. People started big organizations, very big religious organizations. I don't know what to call them. But none of them were realized souls. For example, there was a great saint called Viditama who went to China. And he started a religion called Zen. Zen means dhyan. And he wanted to put Zen in such a manner that people become thoughtless. He made a big tank full of sand with patterns and put some stones. And he had said that to sit on the edge of this pond and just see, but don't think. People didn't understand what it was. Normally anybody would go there and say, oh, this looks like some ships in the sea or all kinds of things. But nobody tried for thoughtless awareness. And I told some of them that this is for thoughtless awareness. They couldn't understand. Then we have also in Japan, Tao. He talked about the all-pervading power which was Tao. And Lao Tse was the one who did. He has described saints, how the saints are, how they behave, how they talk, what is their mannerism, everything. But how you become a saint, nobody says. I think throughout there has been no description how to make a person into a saintly personality. So also in the 12th century, Jnaneshwara was in the 12th century. He talked about it and he said about it in his book, everything. Because it was a kind of a style that a guru should have only one disciple, who should give to one disciple realization, not to many. I don't know why, what made them such a law or a rule. And then it started in the 12th century, there were many saints who sang the praise of realization. And all of them thought that these rituals are no good, so they discarded rituals and this. But what was the thing that had to happen? Nobody knew. I have read all their lives. I've read afterwards also many saints who were there. But it seems nobody knew how to raise the Kundalini. This was the basic problem they didn't know how to raise the Kundalini. While I think they didn't have that power, or maybe they had no knowledge. They talked about Kundalini all right, but they did not know how to raise the Kundalini. This is a very special power of spirituality. None of them have been able to say or tell you how to raise the Kundalini. Now you all have got this power, which is such a rare thing. All of you have got it. I don't see anybody who doesn't have that power to raise the Kundalini. You may not. You may be contented with yourself, but that's not a very good thing. If you have got your Sahasrara opened out, and if you know how to raise the Kundalini, you must go all out to give realization to people. Nothing is going to benefit people more than self-realization. No use doing other charities, giving money, giving this, is of no use. Best thing is to go all out to see people who want their realization and to give them realization. I was very happy to see that they have started working it out on the gypsies. I have a special feeling for gypsies. For no fault of theirs, they are leading a very miserable life. And how the gypsies got the realization, you can see that you can give it to anyone who wants to have it. One thing is there, you cannot force on it. If they have a desire, a pure desire, they can get self-realization. So this day, I have to just say now, so many years have passed, I worked quite hard, day and night. And my only desire was that you people should take it seriously and work it out. Don't keep your realization to yourself. As many as people you can give realization, the greatest obligation will be on me and on God Almighty. Only thing is, you should try to give realizations to others. You will never make a mistake. You can never make a mistake because the Kundalini knows. She knows you. She knows you are a realized soul. She'll respect you. Even if you make mistakes, she'll correct it and she'll help you in every way. I am just I should say, a housewife who had no support from anyone. But I was sure that it's my job to find out how to break the Sahasrara. Whatever way it is, outside doesn't matter. My job was to find out the breaking of Sahasrara, which I did. Now you also know that. So this is your job. And the scientists now will be coming around you to ask you questions, because they don't know what they are talking about is what we are already doing. So you are so powerful, all of you. But how many of you are really doing this work is the point. Today is a very important day. I want to tell you that you have to strengthen my hands. They say the goddess has 1,000 hands. But even the 1,000 hands are now asking that you come along with your 2 hands and work it out. It's very important what you have to do. All kinds of problems in this world, they come because of ignorance. Take it politics, take it any problem. And how it is solved is also your power with the divine. I'll give you one simple example that the Turkish people came and were begging of me, Mother, you must come, you should not postpone. And this passport, my passport was a problem. I said, the passport is not ready, how will I come? But then I thought, why not? We'll have the passport also done. So passport was ready. And they wanted me to go to Turkey because they say the financial condition has gone down very much, the economy has gone down absolutely, we are ruined. I went there, I didn't do anything about it. Within 2 days, they announced $10 billion help from the World Bank. Now, I didn't talk to World Bank. I had nothing to do with them. I don't know. Then I said, no, maybe, you see, they are helping because you people are in such trouble. I said, but so many countries are. Why have they helped us only? I said, that's the point. So now, I was surprised in Turkey, there are only ladies mostly who are leaders, mostly. And they have done such a big job. Now, I want to see what you people are doing in your country. You may say that in my country, the people are hopelessly bad. Maybe. I don't say no. But still, there are places, there are pockets where you can go and talk to them, tell them. Especially the media you must handle. It is something you have to do and find out why you can't do it. Like me, I was not supported by anybody, not helped by anybody. And how I have managed to break the Sahasrara, you can also break the Sahasraras of others. It's not difficult, because my vision is that this world at least should have 40% people who are realized souls and who are practicing Sahaja Yoga, who are giving realization to people and trying to change the people. Anybody you can go and tell, anybody. There's no need to discriminate or to find out or sit down with their, people take sometimes the copy of their education and this and that's not needed. Whosoever it is. I'm not saying give it to dogs or to animals, but to human beings, wherever they are. They may be anything. They may be English, they could be Germans, they could be Italians, anywhere. I'm told also some people are doing lots of seminars and working very hard on all levels, and it is working out. Among Muslims also we have started working, and even in India it has worked. You don't know, people have not lost all their heads. So it can work out. Don't be very much disappointed and upset about it. Gradually it will improve. I think the greatest enemy of our self-realization is the drinking. Drinking, if people take to drinking, they become such slaves. Their brains are not all right. So I think the Sahasrara also must be spoilt with drinking. So drinking, I think, is the worst anyway. And if you could find anybody drinking, if you could help that man to give up drinking itself, it will work out. Of course, we have other enemies also, like false gurus are there. Also, we have other enemies who are having some sort of religious manipulations, but that's not so important. If you can get hold of people who are drinking, I tell you it will change. And they will now understand that what they have been doing so far, drinking, running away, now they'll come to the fields and they'll work out such. So you are like very gentle soldiers of love. And that's what you have to spread and talk to others, give them that joy that you have. Not be satisfied if you have got it only, or few of you have it. You have to spread it very fast, and you can do it, because it doesn't require money, it doesn't require any show. It is just inside, it works. It's already there, it's present there. Everybody has it. I knew all that. Of course I knew it, but now you also know it, so you should work it out, and work it out in a manner that I'm sure one day this world will be a changed place. Thank you very much.